Hey guys, welcome back to the Dirty Show. I'm your host Dominic, and today we've got a father, a law student, an alienated father who has appealed his case, and he's going to give us a bit of an update. I know that the results of this appeal hasn't come up yet, but I feel positive about this one, so stay tuned. It's coming up. Welcome to the Pain SA podcast, where we discuss the devastating and long-lasting effects resulting from parental alienation. I'm your host Dominic Charles, and I have been alienated from my daughter on and off for almost 12 years, and I've had no access or contact with my daughter since August 2021. The aim of this show is to create awareness, influence, change in the legal system, and reunite fathers with their children. Please note that the users of all parental alienation intervention network South Africa, hereby known as Pain SA, and all its subsequent media platforms, affiliated groups, projects, companies, take no responsibility or risk for the use of Pain SA and related media entities such as Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and all subsequent similar related media platforms used by Pain SA. We accept no responsibility or liability for any views or related topics verbally, written, or otherwise by users on Pain SA's media and or other platforms or entities as mentioned herein. We accept no responsibility, liability for any views expressed or actions taken by users of the Pain SA group, its affiliates, or platforms of expression. We accept no responsibility or liability to any person as a consequence of any reliance upon the information given on the site. Under no circumstances, including negligence, shall anyone involved in creating or maintaining Pain SA working content and maintenance therefore be liable for any direct or indirect damages from testimonials given by independent guest speakers invited to relay their personal testimonies, beliefs, or opinions on Pain SA's live show or posts. Welcome, Sadiq. Thanks for joining me today, bro.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me here today.
How are you doing on this Saturday?
Well, today is just a quiet day, and today is the day where my daughter turns 7 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she turns 7 today, but I just can't be with her. I would love to just meet my son and daughter, and I just miss them very, very much.
Tell me, have you been able to at least wish her today?
No, I wasn't able to wish or even see or talk to even talk to my daughter. Reason being, number one, the cause of it will be the parental alienation syndrome, and it's quite a heavy topic for the fellow viewers out there who is listening to us right now. So I would like to just introduce, give a bit of an introduction of my situation.
Okay.
Okay, I'm a father of two. My son, his name is Ahmad Naufal. He's turning 10 this year. My daughter just turned 7 today. And the last time I was able to spend quality time, uninterrupted, unsupervised, was at the end of February for the year 2020. It's almost about 2 years ago. All right.
Right.
And but one of this group of pictures. This is a picture with my group of friends.
Right.
Yeah, and the last time I was able to meet my children physically was through a supervised visit assess done facilitated by the Ministry of Social and Family Development, where there is an entity called DSSA. DSSA stands for Divorce Support Specialist Agency. I requested for this DSSA through my legal counsel during the Sharia court proceedings. It is a form of a medium for me to be able to access to my kids to reduce the impact of the alienation, to rekindle, to reignite the love and the healthy relationship that was lost for the past almost 2 years. And somehow, due to COVID, my hopes were being hampered. Yeah, so that is just quite sad. And along the way, I was accused of various allegations which are nothing but false. I wish to say that I am a law-abiding citizen. I do not commit any crime. I was a former military policeman. I'm a warrant officer in the Singapore Armed Forces. I serve in the ATOS Auxiliary Police Force as an inspector. And now I'm a law student. So if I were to commit any crimes, family violence, or any form of violence, why would I still be free in the streets right now? It makes no sense at all. So because of these allegations, because of these false informations to the police, to the courts, even under oath, where my former spouse, she even submitted false affidavits. Why is it being done? And the pattern that I noticed is that for the alienation, not only just in Singapore, but also in the UK, in Australia, New Zealand, Brazil, all over the world, the dynamics are just the same. It's just like football. Formation of a football team.
Yeah.
You have one goalkeeper right at the back, then you can have all sorts of formation. 4-4-2, 4-3-3, 4-5-1, or whatever. I'm a Liverpool fan.
Manchester United, yeah.
And I'm so sorry for that, brother. Okay, I'm a Liverpool fan. And so with regards to football and parental alienation, just that the dynamics are just, is more or less there. Only that how they push in their forwards, how they push in their wing backs, midfielders and all. But the baseline, that forms the core baseline will be, I would say, the defenders in the context of a football.
Right.
But for alienation, it will be false allegations, accusations of having affairs, family violence, and not giving maintenances. This will be the primary fault based on my personal assessment, which coincides with a lot of the thoughts, opinions, and findings of the professionals. For example, professors, doctors, psychologists, psychiatrists. We share the same sentiments. So why must there be alienation in the first place?
Why is it existing still if there's a pattern that has been figured out already?
Correct. So even in any religion in the world, I would say alienation is forbidden in every religion. For me, I'm a Muslim. In the Quran already states in one of the verse, in one of the chapters, it says that one must not sever the ties of kinship. I believe the same is also said in the Bible.
One of the commandments is that you need to honor your mother and your father.
Yeah, correct. So religions all over the world will say family ties are very important, be it in Islam, be it in Christianity, be it in Buddhism, be it in Hinduism, or Jews, or Judaism, or whatever religion in this world.
That's
so
right.
Why must that be parental alienation? So what I'm trying to share today is just about parental alienation. I'm not going to emphasize, I'm not going to touch anything on the religion because we are just one common mankind. If we cut ourselves, our blood will still be red.
That's right.
Yep. And because of this alienation of the false allegations and everything, there are legal fees. Legal fees needs to be paid because definitely one will not know what to do. They will need professional help, professional counselors in the form of lawyers. Yes, lawyers. My lawyer did a very, very good job.
Right.
He is a very good man. He was able to point out using the proper case laws in my cases be it for finances, be it for maintenances, personal protection orders for family violence, and even in my divorces. But however, this is just, I would say, about 40% of all the expenses being incurred. But what about the rest? Maintenances, all this means money. And how about if there are people who are having mutual agreements in some properties or even assets like cars and all that? So if there's a breach of agreement for a car or any motor vehicle, someone still has got to make the payments. And because of all these debts, okay, people are severely in a debt situation. This debt situation will only add salt to the wounds. Not only a person is really troubled by the divorce, what about the children and debts, coupled with false accusations and so on. But fortunately for me, being in Singapore, there is a program by the Singapore government that helps the members of the public, that helps the people to manage their debt situation, where it is being managed in a win-win situation. The debtor, which is myself, I myself am a debtor.
Okay.
For a total debt of around $65,000. This $65,000 will consist mainly of the breach car agreement, my legal fees, maintenance payouts, and as well as my legal studies, my law studies, which I had no choice but to use my credit cards because I was out of job due to the false accusations and so on.
A question.
So,
A question there,
yep.
Sadiq, is did you start studying law because of the alienation?
Partly, yes.
Is that the deciding factor?
Yes, correct. Because, like I said previously, I was in the military police, followed by I was in the Ethos Auxiliary Police. It's not the actual Singapore Police Force, but it's like a subsidiary of some sort where we assist the police in the works of security and management. So while in Ethos Auxiliary Police Force, I was an investigation officer for my division. So I got acquainted with a lot more with the laws and with the, how do I say that? With this alienation, with this divorce, and for me by nature as a person, whenever I get involved deeply into a sticky situation, I will want to know more. I will want to read up more. So that is where I decide that, hey, I will need to do something. So at first, I thought of taking up a Bachelor of Criminology,
Right.
where sciences of criminals are going to be taught. But when I discussed this with my lawyer, he said to me, hey, Sadiq, you're a smart guy. You can learn, you can analyze, you can get information, you know how to solicit information, you know how to interrogate, you know how to investigate, you know how to apply laws. If you're to study criminology, you're just going to study the sciences of criminology and aspects of psychology and other modules. Have you ever thought of getting yourself a law degree? That put me to a thought. Wow, law. Okay, why not? So that's where I'm learning right now. I'm still studying. I'm still a law student. I'm not yet a lawyer. I am hoping to do my best. If one day I were to be a lawyer, I hope to serve my country, my people, in the best way that I can. And from the way I see it right now, there's a lot of help. There are people out there who needs a lot of help in terms of divorces, toxic divorces, parental alienation, not being allowed to see kids. So yeah, that's a bit of the introduction about me and my situation.
So, Sadiq, I want you to take me back to a time where you were with your kids. You had a relationship. Obviously, well, the alienation started somewhere. So take me back to a time before that started.
Okay. There wasn't any form of alienation, visible alienation, when I was still living together with them in my own matrimonial home. It was only after that I had no choice but to leave the house
Why did you leave, if I may
because
ask?
of okay. In my house in Singapore, I used to live there with my former wife, with my ex-wife,
Right.
one, myself, two of us, my two young children, that makes four persons, with my former parent-in-laws. They live in together with us.
Okay.
So it was a toxic situation where there were a lot of differences in thoughts, differences in religious beliefs. Even though we are all Muslims, but things were not meant to be, and we went on to the separate ways. But the thing is that if a marriage is not meant to be, it's just not meant to be. Why use the children as a form of an instrument to alienate a father, as a form of instrument to impose, I would say, allegations which are toxic, harmful, false, not true? Question is, why? That's when I come to realize that, hey, I'm not the only one. There are many, many more out there. And among those are my former mates in the military. Some of them are my former schoolmates. And that's when I realized, hey, there are many people out there. They may have their own reservations not to voice out their concerns. But for me, I would say no. I have to defend and to protect. I am not going to give up. Because in the military, giving up is never in our vocabulary.
Yeah.
Next thing is that in my religion, in Islam, giving up is never in a Muslim's vocabulary. So I am not going to give up my children just like that. I'm not giving up to parental alienation.
So what were some of the things, Sadiq, that you were accused of and that your ex used as an excuse to keep your kids away from you?
Okay, I will highlight two main cases. Okay, number one, on the 1st of January in the year 2020, that was 2 years, 2 months, and 12 days ago, I was accused for committing family violence to my daughter to the extent of strangulation to my daughter during a medicine feeding incident. So what happened was that my daughter was having fever. She has a phobia of eating medicines. Okay, so all I wanted to do is just to feed her medications, as I want her to get well.
Right.
Kids, most of them do not want to eat medicine, but as a caring parent, which caring parent would want to see their child falling sick, being ill? They would want the child to eat medicine. So I tried to feed my daughter that medication. So unknown to me, my former mother-in-law was sitting at the back. So what she did was, she went to her room, took out a mobile phone, and started to video record the whole incident. But however, the phone was facing the ceiling. It did not record the full situation. So my ex-wife used that as a form of evidence per se, in that I had committed family violence, which is not true. Reason is because somewhere in about 2.5 minutes into the video, where my daughter can be heard crying, wailing, I do not want to eat the medicine, I do not want to eat the medicine.
Right.
That's when my former mother-in-law, she started to scold me and start saying things like, is this the way you feed your daughter medicine? Is this the way you feed your daughter medicine? We do not have any problems feeding her medicine at all. I can say that I might be a bit inexperienced in feeding medications to my kids, all right?
Right.
Especially to my daughter who is afraid of medications. But after some time, after telling my daughter that, okay, fine, you're not going to have the medicine, I just want you to drink water and go to sleep. I just want her to rest.
Right.
And I told her that, and I told her, my daughter, her name is Nawa, I said, Nawa, I'm not going to give you any more medicine. I'm going to make you a bottle of milk. Will you want to follow me to the kitchen to show you that I am making a fresh bottle of milk with with no addition of medicines, because it was in liquid form for the paracetamol and antibiotics or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, so she followed me, and in the kitchen, she said to me, Abba, can I have some water? It was all recorded in the video. So the thing is this, if a man who is capable to do harmful things by his physique, by his strength, definitely a child who is so-called tormented will not want to follow that man into the kitchen and asking for water, correct?
Yeah. She'll be terrified of you.
Yeah, so yeah, and my daughter followed me to the kitchen. She said to me, Abba, I want water, and I gave her water. So what does it mean? It just clearly shows that the accusations is false. And next thing, it was only reported to the police about 2 months later, somewhere in February in that year 2020, saying that I had committed family violence by forcing medication to my daughter in a manner that I had caused to the extent of an almost strangulation, holding my daughter at the neck, causing her face to turn blue.
Wow.
Yeah. So now the question is this. In the field of criminal law, in the field of common sense, if someone wish to lodge a police report, why don't you just call the police immediately? Next thing.
How long after this incident was the police called or this case made?
It was 2 months, slightly more than 2 months,
Wow.
which just doesn't make any sense. Okay, can you just give me hold on for a second?
Okay.
5 seconds,
No
please.
problem.
Okay, my battery is running low. All right, sure.
No stress.
Okay, so
yeah.
yeah.
So 2 months after the incident, it was reported. Okay, if any abuse happens to a child and you take 2 months to report it, you are as guilty as the abuser. That's just what I'm saying. Then you're an accomplice to the abuse. Why wait 2 months if you care so much about the children? You get what I'm saying?
Yes. All right. That's the thing. Why must you wait? And now the thing is this. I hear you. So now the thing is this. If a person is in trouble, whose life is in imminent danger in front of you, is just normal human, I would say even animals would also do the same. If a cat sees another cat in trouble, that cat will come to assist, to help, to save the other person, that party.
Absolutely.
So the grandmother, if she were to see that something is wrong, why didn't she just pull my daughter away? Correct?
Right.
Why did she just go to her room to record the whole incident and start to scold me? And after which, 2 months later, a police report was lodged against me stating that I committed family violence to my daughter. And if indeed there was some form of family violence being committed, why didn't she just use her mobile phone to call for the police?
Instead of recording it and reporting it 2 months later.
2 months later, yes, correct.
Makes no sense.
It just makes no sense.
So
makes no sense at all.
So you've appealed all of these false allegations, am I right?
Yes, correct.
And when did this appeal take place?
The appeal in question was for my divorce proceedings that happened just yesterday.
Right.
Just that the judgment will only be out sometime next week. Hopefully, it will be out on this coming Monday, if not on a Tuesday.
So you're not divorced yet?
I'm already divorced, but the outcome, the divorce conditions,
oh, right.
the divorce decree, regards to to the ancillary matters, to the matrimonial properties.
Right.
Those are the ones
Access
that
and
I'm
so forth.
contesting. Yeah, as well as the children's access.
Right.
Okay. Back to the medicine feeding incident.
Yeah.
So for the police procedures in Singapore is that if something is being committed, call the police immediately. The police hotline in Singapore is 999 999.
Right.
So what would happen is that the police will come down to the location to find out, to gather information, what actually happened, to find out whether a crime has been committed or not. Then, if there is any form of allegation or accusation on a family violence took place, the police will call for an ambulance to bring the victim away for a medical assessment. That was not being done. So if I were to commit a family violence, why don't you call the police immediately? Why isn't there a comprehensive medical report to show that my daughter was harmed by me? And all that were being recorded by the grandmother, and it was used in the court for the personal protection order.
Right.
And I was able to prove to the judge, Your Honor, this is not true. Looking at the context,
Yes.
as hurtful as it may sound, hearing the cries of a child not wanting the medicine, but listen to the video carefully.
Right.
That's where you will see the facts. And using her own evidence,
Against her.
the case was, I used her own evidence against her. This is just one incident. Another incident with regards to family violence was it was on the 7th of March 2020 on a Saturday.
Okay.
The incident happened at our local mosque. It's called Masjid Al Mawaddah. So what happened was that I have not seen my children for 3 days back then.
Right.
And that 3 days, it was rather heart-wrenching. I've not being able to see my kids for 3 days. Something's missing. Then I just wanted to see my kids. So it was during the religious class. The dismissal time was at 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon. So I was there at close to 2:30 p.m. My ex-wife's father, let's just call him the grandfather, he appeared at the classroom door. So as the teacher opens the door and starts to dismiss the class, the teacher said to the students, "Children, do not run out to the class. Do not run out from the class. You can only leave the class when your parents calls out your name."
Right.
So the children are raring to leave the class. There are many parents behind me calling out their names, and I was just standing at the door frame, on the left-hand side of the door frame. So there was a child who was rushing to come out from the classroom because I would say the parent called out his name. I had to make a side step to create a small opening for that little boy to exit the classroom. You're able to visualize that, right? Okay. So perhaps my backpack, I was carrying a backpack on my shoulder.
Right.
That backpack may have brushed the grandfather a little bit, but somehow he gave a violent push to me. I nearly fell.
Okay.
I nearly fell. Yes, I nearly fell. And he shouted, scolding me vulgarities, and there were lots of witnesses where the teacher herself became a witness for that incident. Fortunately for me, there were CCTV cameras in that mosque. The CCTV cameras provided the evidences that I did not commit anything. So what happened afterwards was that the grandfather lodged a police report stating that I entered into the classroom. I pulled my son out from the classroom in a violent manner and pushed him into the lift, causing an injury to his left wrist. causing an injury to the left wrist. So the police officer advised the grandfather to bring my son to the hospital for a medical check. So they did. I just wish to highlight something. My former spouse, my former wife, is a senior nurse in one of a reputable hospitals here in Singapore. So she knows the procedures. So what happened at the hospital was that my ex-wife brought my son to the hospital for the checks. However, while doing the checks, one of the attending doctors informed my ex-wife saying that my son needs to get his x-ray done before going further into the medical investigation.
I'm
Okay,
following you.
you're following
Yes.
me now? Yes? Okay. Yeah. So at that point of time, my ex-wife told the doctor, no, I'm not consenting my son to have his x-ray because x-ray will kill will kill some blood cells in his
Okay.
body, which are and deny further medical investigation. The medical report by the doctor specified all this information. And I was like, okay, you are a nurse in Singapore, you're a senior nurse in Singapore, in one of the most reputable hospitals in Southeast Asia, and you give instructions to a doctor to not let my son undergo further medical examinations such as x-rays. Why is it
And
so?
that's obviously to prove
Why
the
is it
injury
so? That
to
is
your son's wrist.
yes, exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow.
So why is she not allowing the cause of justice to take place?
Hmm.
Okay? And at first, when this incident happened, right? Okay, I informed my lawyer. My lawyer asked me, what did I do wrong? And I said nothing. So I had to break down the sequence of events like what I used to do in my investigation paper. So I had to break down step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and so on
Right.
and so forth. It was very, very lengthy. And when I was called up by the police for investigation, okay, the police officer initially thought that I had committed something. Yeah, I committed some form of family violence because for that pushing incident, I myself had lodged a police report against the grandfather.
Right. Yeah,
Okay,
for
so
pushing you.
yeah, so when correct, so when I was called up to the police station by the investigation officer, I assumed that the investigation was for the case that I had reported against him. However, I then realized that the police officer, the investigator, was investigating
Oh
me.
my goodness.
That is because when the investigation officer was taking notes for my statement taking, and I saw the caption statement of facts SOF. So I asked him, "Excuse me, sir, why are you recording statement of facts from me? Why did you classify me as a subject?
Right.
I am not a subject." That's when he realized that I had also lodged a police report against my former father-in-law, the grandfather. And I told him, "Sir, listen carefully. I have had the privilege and the honor and the opportunity to hold on to 2 police warrant cards. The first warrant card was from the military police. The second warrant card was from the auxiliary police. So I had that warrant cards back then. And I will not commit any form of crime." So I told him, right now, I'm just telling you this. I'm not going to give you instructions. I'm not teaching you how to do your investigations. I'm going to list down every single step one by one. What cameras that you need to look out for. And he did. So he got all the evidences. He corroborated all the investigation papers, all the information, and he presented the case to the public prosecutor. The public prosecutor opined that I did not commit anything at all. And that is a case of false reporting to the police. But however, the police classified this case as a family dispute, and the public prosecutor is not taking up the case as a form of police reports. It's not taking the case as a form of lodging a false
Right.
police report. So what I did eventually was that I accumulated all the false reports one by one, and it had already amounted to at least 25. I lost count actually. I lost count.
Wait,
And during
wait.
my
You
lessons
saying
in
there's
my
more
law
than
modules,
25 false reports? Wow.
yes, 25 counts of false information, false reports, false content in an affidavit, misleading information, a lot. There's
Jeez.
a lot more. So I analyzed every single line, every single document, every single police report lodged against me, and I consolidated all these points. So I presented this information to one of my lecturer, and my lecturer said, "You can lodge this to the magistrate court." And next thing, I brought the same thing up to my own lawyer. My lawyer said, "You can bring this up to the magistrate court." So that's what I did. And right now, my complaints on the false information are currently being investigated by the Singapore Police Force as well as the magistrate court
Well,
for providing false information to the police, false evidence, false claims under oath that will be in the penal code. I've lost count, so I'm not so sure what will the outcome be. So I will just leave
so
everything to
am
the
I
court
am I
to
correct in
decide.
assuming that this has now gone? I don't know how your guys' justice system works that side, but there's probably a family court and a children's court, and then there's a criminal court, right? Has this now gone to a criminal court?
Yes, correct.
Is it now past the family court now?
Okay, for the magistrate court, it is independent of
Right.
the family justice court. Okay, and for the family justice court, it deals mainly with family-related matters. For example, divorces, maintenances,
Child access.
execution of child access, execution of wills
Right.
and assets. Mainly just that, as well as what do you call that? Family violences. But if the family violences were to transgress into something more heavier, more towards
Right.
criminally inclined, that's when the case will be referred to the state court and so on.
I hear you.
So for my case, I already have it reported to the magistrate court.
So, when was the last time you've actually
There's
when,
just
when was the last time you've actually had to see your kids in person,
when was the last time? Just you mean unsupervised?
unsupervised?
Without
Yeah.
unsupervised, that would be before I left the house. That would be over here. It's at Seletar Mall, the neighborhood shopping mall, just less than 1 kilometer away from my house.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, it's just less than 1 kilometer away from my house. We just went there to have a bite at McDonald's. And what you see behind you is I don't know what you call that machine. And my daughter, she loves these fluffy toys.
Yeah.
So she just asked me, Abba, can I just have $1? Abba, can I just have $1? Just one try, just one try. And I said, okay, you get a try. So she inserted the $1 coin and she asked me to grab the pink one. And with just one attempt, I got that toy for her.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was just pure luck. Yeah, but you just look at the smile of my two children. And that was the last time I went out with my kids, unsupervised, undisturbed. That was the last time I went out with them unsupervised.
What happened next? What happened after that? Since that was the last time.
What happens after? Okay, what happens after that? My ex-wife, being a nurse, she keeps on saying that it's dangerous, it's dangerous, it's dangerous to even go out, it's dangerous to just go to the playground, it's dangerous to go to the convenience store to buy bread. Do not bring the kids down to the playground, do not bring the kids down to buy ice cream and all that kind of things.
So
She said that I'm a
this was with the
nurse.
whole COVID
I
story.
know how deadly the virus. Sorry?
This was due to obviously COVID.
I think
Sorry, I think we're breaking up
yeah,
there,
it's
but
mainly because of the COVID situation.
yeah.
Yeah, you're breaking up. Hello? Okay, I think it's much better now. Okay, so she used the reason, the COVID as a reason, stating that it's not safe for me to bring the kids out, saying that the coronavirus is still too dangerous. It's still too dangerous when it has even yet to reach Singapore shores. Back then, it was still in Wuhan, in China. Then, yeah. So she used that as a reason, but for me, I just took it as a pinch of salt. Okay, fine. Spend time with the kids at home, play with the kids at home. There's nothing much that I can do. But however, she was able to bring the kids out. She said that I'm a nurse. I know how to take care of the kids. I'm a nurse. I know how to sanitize them. I'm a nurse. I know how to take care. I know how to take medical precautionary measures. So
Right.
I'm like, hello, come on. This is not the hospital. COVID has yet to reach Singapore. So this is just one of initial tricks, initial tools to cause alienation. And back then, my kids, they do not know anything. They were just okay. Okay, I would say that kids, they are impressionable of adults. They would say, "But mommy says this one, you cannot do that. It's dangerous." Abba, mommy say you cannot do this. It's dangerous. Mommy is a nurse. Mommy fights the germs. Mommy fights bacteria. You only catch bad people. So you only know how to catch bad people. Mommy knows how to catch bacteria. So they use
Is
this
that
kind
what?
of
Is that what? Wait, which one of your kids said this?
both of them.
Both of them. And at this time, they were how old?
At that time, my daughter was 5 years old.
Right.
My son was 8 years old.
And they intelligent enough to come up with an argument like that
Yeah.
on their own. That's that's ridiculous. Obviously,
Okay, if it's my son, it would be okay. But for a 5-year-old, I don't think so.
no,
It's really been taught, really been
absolutely.
built into her.
And that's I mean, fear has been that's a sign of mental abuse right there. You driving fear into a child. A child's not supposed to know fear. Would you
Yeah,
agree with
true.
that?
Yes, I would agree with that.
So that's the same thing that an abductor does. They put fear. You can't go outside. Terrible things are going to happen to you. If you phone the police, you're gonna die. Things like that. My goodness. So the tactics don't seem to change, as you said. It's a 4-4-3, a 4-4-2, or
Yes, correct. It has to change.
wow. So tell me now.
451, 433, 422, 352, whatever.
Tell me, Sadiq, when was the last time you've had any sort of contact? You said that was the last time you've seen them, like, physically, right?
I think we're breaking up again.
So you said the last time
Yep.
you saw them physically was in this photo, yeah. What now? How are you able to see them now? Like, if at all? Like, you did mention that you've got some sort of contact.
No, the last time I saw them. Okay. No, right now, no, not at the moment. Yesterday, I would just like to share something. During the appeal hearing, the legal counsel of my former spouse informed the judge that my spouse did not commit any form of parental alienation.
Oh,
Her counsel said that my ex-wife did not commit any form of parental alienation. Okay, I was rather upset when the evidences have already been presented. has already been given, produced, and submitted to the court. So when he said that, I took that words and I asked her, I texted her by WhatsApp yesterday, last night at around 10 p.m. I said that earlier today, your counsel informed to the court that you did not commit any form of parental alienation. So to prove that you are not committing any form of parental alienation, I will want to meet the kids tomorrow between 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Right.
After sending that message, there was no reply. Total silence.
That
Total silence. So it's contradicting the words of her lawyer, is contradicting to the actions of my ex-wife. So you see the point over here? How much lies are there? And that is why in my Facebook, in my social media, I am highly vocal. I will not be afraid to stand up and say that stop your nonsense, stop your parental alienation. I will not hesitate to fight on, and I will never give up. I will never ever give up to fight for the kids. The only time that I will stop being vocal is when the alienation stops. And however so, if my case, if I were to be a survivor of parental alienation, I will still be out there helping other victims to fight for their children by whatever means. Because there was someone who said that, hey Sadiq, if there is a military terminology that I can use in the world of parental alienation, I would say you are the ranger of parental alienation. And I'm like, wow, you serious? You calling me a ranger in parental alienation? Are you going to give me a tab over here for my shoulders? A ranger?
Right.
He said, yeah, if there is a military term for parental alienation, I would say you have earned that ranger tab. So like, wow, oh my goodness, a ranger tab. I wasn't even able to even survive in this kind of tough military conditions, yeah. But I'm not going to give up.
No, you should never. The thing is that it's a waiting game, is what I've seen, and but at the same time, having said that, we must be patient with this whole thing. Every day, the children are being abused, and
Yes.
every day they're growing further and further apart. What is your relationship with your kids right now? You did mention that you have what, Zoom calls with them or something.
Yeah, the Zoom calls were the final one was in early November. If I'm not mistaken, it was the 5th or 6th of November 2022. That would be exactly 3 months ago. 3 months
2021,
and
you
a
mean?
week ago. Yeah,
2021, yeah.
2021, exactly 3 months ago. Ever since then, there has been no contact. There has been no contact. And then
And why is that? What's the reason now for no contact? I mean, you're already not seeing them physically. What's the story now?
Okay, because she put up a personal protection order for family violence, and because I was able to prove all her misdemeanors, all the false allegations, she withdrew her application of personal protection order from me. And by that, she informed to the judge through her lawyer, through her counsel, stating that she do not want me to come near to the house. She do not want me to be in the immediate vicinities of the house.
Okay.
Yeah, so the court advised me that to refrain from going back to the proximities of the house until the end of my divorce proceedings. It was unfair for me. But in exchange, my ex-wife would bring my children to see me every Saturday between 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. for 2 hours at one of the nearby shopping malls. But however, that 2 hours of weekly visits, I counted as a total of 41 visits. At the end of every visit, I will write up a report, just like how a police officer would do a
Right.
report at the end of their shift. So I did that kind of report, stating at this time I was at this location, what did we do exactly, and so on and so forth. I have it recorded.
Right.
Okay, so there was only 2 occasions where I was able to spend time with the kids for at least 1 hour. For the first visit of the 2 hours, it lasted only 1 hour and 17 minutes. 1 hour, 17 minutes. The second visit was a full solid 2 hours. Subsequently, the visits only lasted between 1 minute to half an hour. I say
Wait.
again, the subsequent visits onwards, it lasted between 1 minute to 30
And
minutes.
and there was
And
an
when at
agreement in
times,
place
police
that you were to see your kids at least for 2 hours. Am I right?
correct, and she breached that
And the lawyer
agreement.
says that there's no alienation that's taking place.
Yes,
Wow.
exactly. Yeah, so for because if I were to bring all this up into my divorce case, I would say my affidavits will be over 5,000 pages, because my lawyer and I drafted the affidavits together. I will do the first draft. I'll pass it to him. He makes certain changes and we discuss. And my affidavit, he said that, hey, Sadiq, your affidavit is the most comprehensive ever that I have done in my career as a lawyer for the past 20 years.
Right. So I'm
Because,
gonna ask you quickly,
yeah,
just as some advice for fathers out there watching this. What I'm sure they've already gathered that everything needs to be documented, but I know that's where a lot of fathers fall short. So, how do you document this, and what type of events do you document? Is it everything, or um, are there certain things? How does it? What do you do?
okay, I would say this. Go and find, go and find a form of spectacles. Okay, look over here, these
Right.
spectacles. What I did previously was that I used to have a camera in the glasses right over here in the middle, a covert
Okay.
camera. So this covert camera will capture the events on that day, the voices, the sounds, and everything. And you just need to have a 32 gig memory card. From then, from that medium of stored videography, I was able to write down my report comprehensively. At the first minute and 20 second, I was at the McDonald's. And at another time, I was at this
Right.
table having my Big Mac meal and so on and so forth. So that helped
So how
me.
important how
So for other,
important is it to have these stamps like to the T?
yes, it's important to have timestamps. The timestamps are very, very important. And when you use these glasses, always be mindful not to enter the toilets, because it can be used as a form
Well, yeah,
of yeah, it will be a double-edged sword if you have to use the
sexual
cameras in the
predator
toilets,
type
definitely.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So when I use these glasses, what I will do is I will keep on looking around, having a solid 360 degrees situational
Right.
awareness to see who's monitoring me, who's observing me. Is something like counter surveillance.
It's it's sad that
So
you
by
have to
you,
go through to this extent, but I'm sure that well, I'm appreciative of the information that you're sharing. Yeah, I'm sure our viewers will be too. Um, I don't think I don't know of that glasses, so I'll research it and then I'll post it after this, just to um, give everyone you. I mean, you guys have everything that side, so I don't know. We'll have to do some research here for those glasses. If you do know about these surveillance glasses, type in the chat or leave a link in the chat there. I'm sure that will help a lot of fathers in just documenting things.
Yeah, true. So I would say to all the alienated victims out there, when you're fighting this case, you will need to have every single facts. You will need to have evidences, because at times you will need to work alone. You will need to be independent. You will need to think on your own feet. You need to be witty. You need to be doing almost every single thing, and you need to protect yourself. So I would say that it will be very, very good if the alienated father or alienated mother, when meeting the child, please get yourself a covert body camera or a covert
Right.
glasses. And my dad glasses, I customize it to the degrees of my eyes, so I have proper visual. I can see clearly. I can see everything. Whatever I see is being recorded. Whatever I say is being recorded, and it helped me quite a lot. Just that I did not use any of it in my divorce case because it will be way too lengthy. And like I said earlier on, my affidavit will be more than 5,000 pages. It's way
But
too
it
long.
helps to have that than not have it, right? Just in case.
Yep. Yep, just in case. So if there were to be any form of accusations that I commit something, then I will have an evidence which I will call it as a prima facie evidence to show that I did not do anything harmful. And fortunately, I would say fortunately, during two of the visits, I had two friends who know about the parental alienation case in my
Right.
situation. So these two persons are two ladies. I am very, very grateful of them. And one of them is here live watching. Okay. I wouldn't say out her
Okay.
name. She just happens to be there by chance, and she asked me, Sadiq, is that your wife? What's happening? So now I understand that whatever you're saying is true. And I said, yeah, you see it for yourself. And
Mm.
it's true. So you believe me now? You believe me more even now? You believe even more now? I hope you do. And yes, she said, yeah, I believe you. And the following week, her friend witnessed something similar. So it's like, wow, by God's grace, by Allah's good grace, that I have two living witnesses who saw what actually happened on top of my evidences that was recorded by my covert spectacles.
Like I said, it sucks having to constantly prove your innocence, but I think you've well. It's the first time I've heard someone go to that lengths with the covert spectacles and all of that. We definitely need that here. Yesterday, Sadiq, you appealed your divorce case, and this is going to have an effect on the access of your children, right? When are
Mm,
you getting the results? When are you getting
correct.
the results of that?
The appeal yesterday was mainly for the matrimonial assets, the housing, the finances aspects, and all that. So hopefully the judgment will be released as early as Monday, if not on the
Okay.
Tuesday. But however, the access of the kids will only be finalized at the Sharia court on the 28th of February. So I've got to wait for another 16 days. And there are people who have been telling me, Sadiq, I really do not know how the hell you are able to withstand this long. I can't even stand one day not seeing my kids. And I said, you're not the only
Yeah.
one. I've only been through this only for a year, 2 years. There are many others like me in Singapore for 8 years, children overseas abroad in another part of Asia, while another not being able to see the children being abducted from Pakistan to Canada. And I said, I'm just 2 years. There are many others like me, just that they are not vocal. For me, I'm extremely
Yes.
vocal.
Well, Sadiq, I'm going to end off now, but this is definitely not the last show. I want you to come
Yep.
back on and give us an update. as well as if there's anything that you feel that still needs to be spoken about. I'd love to have you back on the show, man. It's been informative, it's been educational, and I'm sure that a lot of fathers will actually gain, draw strength from your strength, because well, I guess the military prepared you for this, right?
Yeah, I would say the military really prepared me for this, to be mentally resilient, to be um, to be a war fighter, to be tactical, and the only correct thing that my ex-wife said correctly about me is that I am highly tactical. Yes, she is correct. I am highly tactical.
Strategic.
So nothing gets away from me. Yeah, I'm a strategist. I follow strategies, I follow tactics, and I keep on saying, have you tried any other tactics than just these methods of parental alienation? Please be more creative. Come, challenge
Right.
me. I will come up to you. I'm at the tip of the spear. I will come after you. I will uncan more worms.
Well,
So stop your alienation.
I hope everyone takes heed of that. I hope I hope alienators start watching these shows. They at least learn something as well. Learn some new tactics, because we're tired of all the same gameplay.
Yeah,
You
and
know, surprise us a little bit.
yeah, and I really and I yeah, and I really hope yeah, and I really hope that the alienators or probable alienators watch this video. Come, the moment I know of anyone who gets into this kind of a sticky situation, find me. I'll give you the tactics. I might not be the best person to give you the law insights. I'll give you more tactics on how to negotiate, on how to go through this sticky situation. You must not struggle, because being in a trap, being in the alienation trap is like a
Right.
quicksand. If you move too fast,
You sink.
you will you will get sucked in. You will just sink. So be just use whatever that you have to help you. So yeah, so I just hope to reach out more people, not just in Singapore, but to the world, and not just Southeast Asia.
Yeah, you've got quite a story, man, and it we it like I said, this is not the end of it. Uh, there's still a lot more that we can't cover. I don't think there's enough time. Like you said, you've got like
Yeah, I
you've
understand.
got so much information, but I've definitely learned from that, and I would actually like you to come on to. While you were talking about, just offering your help and services there with teaching alienated fathers tactics, maybe we should do a workshop where you can actually, yeah,
Why not? Sure.
we'll arrange that workshop. I'd say I'm planning to do one in the next 2 weeks, and as you were speaking, I'm thinking your COVID knowledge of documenting things, and just the way you piece evidence together, I think is going to be detrimental. It's going to be a game changer for a lot of fathers. So type in the chat if you'd like Sadiq to do a workshop with me on this, where he shares all the knowledge. We can go a bit more in.
Dom, I'm losing you there.
Sorry, man. I think the stream quality is a bit down, but don't worry, we are recording this. So if the replay isn't
Yes.
all that great, then I will upload the proper recording. So that's at least smooth. But as I was mentioning, then to the viewers, if you guys do feel that you can gain from this, I mean, if that you'd like Sadiq to do a workshop on how to document, because correct me if I'm wrong, Sadiq, like, you can have the best lawyers in the world, but if you don't have evidence, then you kind of don't have a case, and you're just going to be wasting money. Am I right?
Yes, exactly. You're just gonna be wasting money. You're just gonna be getting yourself into a debt trap, where you're going to be hanging on a noose with all the finances, where all other lawyers is going to pull you down. And when that happens, other lawyers from financial organizations starts to pull you down. The court will look at you differently.
Right.
So that is where you need to know what are your rights as a private citizen, not only just in Singapore, but in any place, in any country, in any state that you are living in. So know your rights,
Learn the
know the
law of your
law.
countries.
I
Yes.
would say, yeah, know the law. And there's no point getting the best lawyers who doesn't have the voice. There's no point of getting the best lawyers with the loudest voice but do not have any evidences to substantiate your claims, your cases. So you need to have all these three, just like fire. Fire, what do you need? You need to have oxygen, you need to have the source of the fire, and the fuel, which is the wood and all that. So you will need to have all of these. So just like a fire, you will need to have these three elements. The same goes for fighting parental alienation. Number one, you will need to have a very good lawyer. Number two, you will need to get your own evidences. You cannot expect your own lawyer to find the evidence for you. No, your lawyer is not an investigator. For me, I'm fortunate that I have a very good lawyer. I'm a law student right now. I used to be an investigator in my own capacity,
Right.
and I have that drive.
Right. I think that's one of the most important elements. Another family lawyer is also Shal Bota. He's come on the show, and the one thing he also mentioned is that fathers give up too soon. They're not in it for the long game. This is not. This is not a. It's not a fight. It's a war. It's a battle. It's So you need to be in it for a couple of fights. You can't just give up after the first loss. You can't expect to win the first time.
True, correct. It's an ongoing war. It's an ongoing process.
That's right.
It will never end until it ends.
Tell me, is there anything in closing that you'd like to just say to our viewers? Like I said, you're definitely coming back again. This is not the last one, so we'll do another show in 2 weeks' time or so. What would you like to say to the viewers?
Sure. To all the viewers out there, never give up. Never ever give up. If you need any form of motivation to spur you on, just get in touch with me. You may disagree with my methods, but my methods work. Because in any war, there's no such thing as conventional warfare. You will need to resort to unconventional methods. Just look at Vietnam. Just look at Omaha Beach. Just look at whatever wars right now. Okay, you will need to use unconventional methods to win the battle. Be smart. Be brave. Never give up. Know your rights. Know your laws. That's all.
Awesome. Thanks, man. And then one last question. What has this done for you coming onto the show? I know that you already strong, you've already seem to have things in order, you've got your methods, you've got your strategies, but has this done anything for you coming on to Pain SA and speaking about this?
Sorry, I beg your pardon?
Oh, sorry, is there a bit of a delay there still?
Yeah,
so,
correct. Yeah.
Yeah, my question to you was, what has this done for you coming onto the show today and speaking about your situation?
Okay, I would say I would love to reach out. And my motto of life would be to liberate the oppressed. Perhaps it is heavily biased to the motto of United States Special Forces, to liberate the oppressed, but I would say yes, it is to liberate the oppressed parents not being able to see their children, and to liberate the children from all these form of mental and emotional abuse. So I would just say that to liberate the oppressed.
Okay, awesome.
So if anyone,
sorry, I broke your word there.
Yeah, so if anyone who just need to reach out, just reach out to me anywhere you are in the world. Right now, there are already some people from the Australia, from South Carolina, from Canada, from Durham, from Birmingham, who are already getting in touch with me with regards to parental alienation. So come on to the world. Do not give up. Do not commit suicide, please. Get out from this trap. Fight it out. Never ever give up. That's it.
Wise words there. Thank you so much, Sadiq. On that note, I'm going to end off the show today, and you guys can join me again for the next show. I'm sure I'm having Derek on again. I know this morning we had some technical issues. I had some sound issues. There was issues. That's all I can say. But if you'd like to come on the Dirty Show and tell your story, please do. All you need to do is type the word story in the chat, and you'll be taken straight through to our chat bot. Fill in your information there, just answer the questions, and come on the show. Telling your story can help so many other parents, right? Some people might not resonate with my story or Sadiq's story, but your story could just change everything for them. So I don't ever think that it's futile what we're doing here. We've reached just close to, I think, 15,000 people in the last 2 months, and that's without any paid advertising. So we are reaching more and more people out there, and I mean, I've reached Sadiq, and he's come on the show, and I mean, leave in the chat, type in the chat, let me know if you've got any value from this today, right? So tune in. I will drop a message on the page. If you haven't liked or followed the page yet, please do so now. Share this message, please, with as many people as you can, especially with fathers who need to hear this right now, okay? And Sadiq will be back in future. I'll let you guys know when. On that note, have an amazing day further. Enjoy your weekend. Stay safe. And I'll see you tomorrow.